China has unveiled a sweeping foreign relations law enshrining its right to impose countermeasures against actions that it deems a threat. This is Beijing's latest bid to bolster its position amid strained relations with the West. The law, approved on Wednesday and entering into force on July 1st, comes as China's authoritarian government pushes back against what it sees as American efforts to suppress its development following US export controls on some high-tech goods and efforts to reduce reliance on Chinese suppliers in sensitive sectors. In recent months, the United States has blacklisted several Chinese companies over their alleged participation in surveillance programs and has also pushed its allies to restrict semiconductor exports to China. Beijing has also long decried Washington's use of economic sanctions as a tool of US foreign policy and in 2021 had enacted an anti-foreign sanctions law aimed at combating overseas measures imposed on Chinese interests. The new law, however, does not appear to add any additional anti-sanctions tools. USA and China have entered a period of deep suspicion and tension that marks a low point in their relations, even as US Secretary of State Antony Blinken visited Beijing earlier this month in an effort to stabilize ties. The new law stresses its right to take corresponding countermeasures and restrictive measures against acts that violate international law and norms and that endanger China's sovereignty, security, and development interests. It is China's first foreign policy legislation of this scope and lands as Xi Jinping has seen his drive to amplify China's power and influence on the world stage clash with concern from the US and other nations over Beijing's ambitions and increasingly assertive foreign policy. The legislation was approved by a top decision-making body within China's rubber stamp parliament on Wednesday. Its chairman, Zhao Leiji, held the law as having great significance for safeguarding the country and supporting national rejuvenation, a nod to Xi's vision for a powerful and modern China. This new law provides a legal basis for the diplomatic struggle against sanctions, anti-intervention, and long-arm jurisdiction and enriches the legal toolbox to safeguard national interests. The new legislation also enshrines the promotion of several of Xi's signature foreign policy initiatives on global security, development, and civilization into law and affirms China's stated opposition to hegemony and power politics. While the party, not the state, is ultimately in charge of China's policy in general, the law also explicitly places control of international relations into the hands of the ruling Communist Party.